PulseChain.
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 Just catching some breaking news here. As you can see, the prices are looking pretty darn awful. Everything is down 46%, 45%. This was even worse. It was at 50s and 60s. It's now recovered slightly, but now you see 40s, 30s on the hexes, on the Pulse 40s, PulseX 46%. If you go over to Dex Screener, you can see a similar story here. These were, as I say, in the 50s and 60s when I clicked on this a few minutes ago. Just trying to figure out what is going on. So there is some breaking news about Richard Heart and the SEC. This is what I've got so far. This document has been posted around, and it's the SEC taking Richard Heart to court apparently, and this has just come out today. So this document here is for the Eastern District of New York. Plaintiff SEC, defendant Richard Heart, Jay Schuler, which is his real name. And it says here, plaintiff's Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC, summary of the action. Richard Schuler, also known as Richard Heart, is an American-born internet marketer, content creator, and serial entrepreneur living in Finland. Hart operates through 3 unincorporated alter egos entities, HEX, PulseChain, and PulseX, beginning in December 2019 and continuing for at least the next 3 years. Hart raised more than $1 billion in unregistered offer and sale of crypto asset securities to retail investors in the US and abroad. Hart engaged in 3 separate offerings: HEX, PulseChain, PulseX. Each was and is a crypto asset security, and PulseChain and PulseX are crypto assets security platforms designed, created, and maintained by Hart. Now, as far as we know, this doesn't pass their test for being a security, which we looked at before, but we'll see anyway. Hart continually touted these investments as a pathway to grandiose wealth for investors, claiming that HEX, for example, was built on the highest appreciating asset that ever existed in the history of man. That sounds a bit shady, so I'm not sure. I think this article is legit, but that these kind of doesn't look like something that would come out of a summary of action. But Hart hired and directed developers to build and maintain the software framework for HEX, PulseChain, and PulseX. So there's probably another page to this that cuts off there. What we can see is quickly go over to here. This is CoinDesk, and they've done a quick write-up. As you can see, it's 31st July today, 3:52 p.m. So this is breaking news, fresh off the press within the last that's half an hour, according to, well, that's when they published their article. So US SEC sues Richard Heart, HEX, PulseChain, on unregistered securities fraud allegations. So let's get into their article. Sued internet market. Yeah, this is the same stuff. PulseChain, although alleging raising $1 billion across 3 different unregistered beginnings. So this is the same stuff that we've just seen. Let's see what it says from here. Heart continue. Yeah, that's the same thing there. Exactly, we've seen. Anything new in here? Okay, PulseChain and PulseX launched earlier this month, but faced rocky starts in the weeks immediately after going live, seeing high fees, liquidity issues, and exploitable bugs. The prices of HEX, PulseChain fell post-launch. Hart made frequent references to the federal securities laws, the SEC further alleged, citing his YouTube live streams and other public statements. However, the suit said Hart had himself admitted that the success of these endeavors was completely dependent on his efforts. Hart pumped HEX capacity for investment gain, claiming HEX.com at least November 1st that HEX was designed to surpass ETH, which did 10,000x in price in 2 years. It's working so far. So we know all that happened, you know. This is not allegations. We know HEX did the 10,000x. On December, he did a 7-hour live stream on YouTube, hours before HEX offering commenced. Hart stated that HEX was built to outperform Ethereum, Bitcoin, and other cryptocurrencies. The suit charges HEX and the other projects with fraud and securities registration violations. Right, as we know, we've seen in previous articles that SEC is going after a lot of people, and obviously Hart and these projects weren't on that initial list, but it was a big list initially, as I've talked about before, and many other people have too. So this just looks like them going after Hart too. Personally, I'm not too worried at this stage. As I said, there is a test for a security, and I don't think HEX passes that. So we'll see what happens here. This is just the initial breaking news I wanted to bring, and I'm going to keep on reading up, and we'll see how this one progresses.